Mike in Warrendale, it would be deflating if the Spartans didn't win it all. There's your word, Karsch. If State loses, it's SOS, same old Spartans. Well, there's been a lot of trips to the Final Four and the one national championship, and it's probably why Izzo so desperately wants one more. From a Michigan fan, it would be a missed opportunity, but you went 3-0 against your rival, 2 championships, and a Final Four, all while absorbing injuries is a great season and far from a failure. MSU not winning it all would be a major disappointment. Not winning it against Tech would be a borderline failure. From Tom and Ipsy, it would be an amazing program year and a disappointing Final Four if they didn't win it all. Final Four and those 3 satisfying wins over Michigan won't be a failure, but the Final Four is wide open to win a natty. Well, Virginia's a favorite. Spartan's a second favorite. Texas Tech, then Auburn. 248-539-9797. Let's go to Barry in Royal Oak. Hi, Barry.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey.
This drives me crazy. Making the Final Four, I mean, there's a reason why they hang banners for it. It means something. There's no way it's a failure. Texas Tech won the Big 12. Auburn won the SEC. They won 29 games. I know nobody thinks they're any good, but you don't win 29 games in a Power 5 conference by accident. Virginia was as a number 1 seed. Like, this stuff drives me crazy. If you count the Power 5 conferences and the Big East and Gonzaga, there's 80 teams that have all the resources that Michigan State does or whatever. You know what I'm saying? They come from real conferences with real money, real coaching, all that kind of stuff. There's got to be like 80 teams out there, and you're one of 4 left. It just drives me crazy. It's a big deal to make the Final Four. I don't care. The only team that is a disappointment is Duke. You have 3 top 10 picks. That's a failure for Duke. Sorry. That's it. Everybody else, you make the Final Four and you let the chips fall where they may. There's usually good teams in the Final Four. They're not, it just drives me crazy. If you make the Final Four, I just think it's always impressive. It's hard to do.
It's incredibly
hard to do. And you're
going
to play somebody who probably won their conference.
It's first of all, the NCAA tournament, while wildly entertaining and one of my favorite events, is a really silly way to determine a champion. Because you're literally letting in dozens of teams that have realistically 0 shot of winning it. It makes you ask the question, why would you do that to determine a champion? But it's what they do. Getting the Final Four is tough. It's really, really tough. And I've said this a bunch. It's the only sport where getting to the semifinal makes your season a success. Now, your point about the only team that's allowed to be disappointed if they get to the Final Four not winning it all is Duke, and I get that. That's one of the things that sucks about having those kinds of expectations, is that there isn't a lot of gray area with Duke.
Well, when you make the Final Four as often as they do, not making the Final Four is a giant disappointment, and they should feel like it's a failure. Like the caller said, they got 3 first-round picks that are freshmen.
3 lottery picks.
Yeah, exactly. feel bad. Feel terrible. You got beat. It's awful. The rest of those teams get to play for the national championship. So am I going to make light of Texas Tech? Nope. That's a real legitimate team. The resume speaks for itself in a tournament. You look at Virginia, they survived a scare against a Big Ten team in Purdue. Well, Purdue was one of the top teams in the Big Ten, so there's legitimacy all over the place. Auburn has slayed some dragons to get to where they're at. They're playing really, really good basketball. I think if you're Virginia, you may feel a little bit of disappointment if you're not going to win it because you're number 1 seed.
The only thing I'd say about them is after what happened last year, I'm sure I would imagine they won't. And last year, for people who don't know, they were a number 1 seed and they became the first 1 seed to lose to a 16.
Yeah.
Following that up with a trip to the Final Four, I think that's healed a lot of wounds. That's put some salve on them, to say the least. 248-539-9797. Open lines. Ticket text 97136. We'll get to more of your phone calls, more of your feedback, more of your tweets. Plus, the big news out of Detroit today was the addition of a running back. Do we like the move? Get to that at 12:05. 97.1 The Ticket.